What's up, guys? Colton Bradford here with your iHeartRadio Backstage Pass. And after months and months of getting tweets and Facebook requests to sit down and chat with this guy, we finally have got it. Mr. Hunter Hayes, what's up, dude?
I was anticipating. After months of getting anticipation and requests to chat with someone, we failed, so we got this guy.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I was doing another interview with someone, another artist, and they made mention of you in the video. And as soon as they did, it was like,
Did you tell me?
Lauren Elena? Are you a big fan of Lauren?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
So I get to do a lot of cool stuff with a lot of the young country artists and stuff like that. So I'm really curious to know, what is it like? Because I know you're a small town kid from Louisiana. So what's it like to be 22 years old and go from being a small town kid in Louisiana to not just being a powerhouse in the U.S. You're now like a global sensation now. What's that feeling like, dude?
Global sensation. That's it's a bit of a jump there, really, honestly. No, man, it's fun. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to tour. I've always wanted to, I've woken up every morning since I was in middle school or elementary school, for that matter, with pictures of tour buses and dreams of what I actually just saw this week, my first real set that I designed with the lights and video and stuff, and to finally get to do all of that, it's absolutely a dream come true. But that goes without saying. I mean, it's a thrill, dude. It's a thrill. More than I think most people on my team would probably want to let me have. I think, yeah, for sure. We laugh about it because it's one of those things. It's like for instance, if I see another sort of set piece that I like, all the teams are like, oh, don't let Hunter see it, because then we'll end up with it the next week. But but I enjoy that side of it. I always did. I always liked the lights, the production, the set pieces, the video pieces, all the stuff that goes into the show. It's like it starts with the music, it starts with writing, it starts with all this stuff. But once you get to a show, once you get to the stage, that's your chance to interpret this music in more ways than just audio. You know what I mean? That's the chance to, we spent, just for this upcoming headline tour, 2 or 3 days just in music, just sitting in a circle with the minimal amount of gear we could bring, just making music together. And then we also, spent another week after that doing the actual production stuff, working with lights, video, stuff like that. So I'm very interested in how you can take a song and just expand on it and make it breathe in a live sort of environment and make it mean something.
I think that's what the great thing about you is that you're not just a singer, you're like an artist altogether. You get the whole picture, you know what I mean? And that's what's cool. There's a lot of really successful artists that get to do that, and I think that you're on the way to being one of those huge. I mean, you already are a global powerhouse, like I said, but I'm serious. You're on your way to something that is going to be huge.
Thank you for saying that.
So I'm curious to know, you have collaborated with so many incredible artists. Stevie Wonder.
Just this year.
Yeah, huge. Stevie Wonder and Ryan Tedder of One Republic, and with your latest single with Jason Mraz. So first tell me what it's like to work with Jason, because that's got to be so cool.
Jason's one of the most chill dudes I've ever met in my life. Dude is on the same level, totally cool too. One of the most easygoing guys you've ever met, and just loves making music. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I can say that about everyone that I've collaborated with this year is the cool sort of running, continuing theme with everyone I've gotten to work with has been this overwhelming love for music, this just genuine music obsession, and Jason carries that as well. But he's a super cool dude. He's funny.
So who is next? Who do you want next to collaborate with? Who, I know you have to have a list of who you want to collaborate with.
Well, this summer I was kind of man, I've kind of met my sort of most of the people on my list.
Right.
I mean, it's if I had a list, which I don't, because it's that would kind of be picking favorites. But I mean, let's be honest, Stevie Wonder was kind of a dream come true.
Yeah.
Not kind of, it was a dream come true. And to get to work with him more than once was really cool. I hope I get to work with him again. This summer, I got the One Republic record, and it was really interesting, just finally getting to know what sort of Ryan and his team does, and so it was really interesting the way that happened. The remix of Crazy, something like that was was totally, I mean, it was spur of the moment. I was mentioning to someone, I was like, man, I really love the sort of organicness of what Ryan does on this latest record of his, you know. And I said, you know, and the whole band, right? Not to solo anybody out, but he said, well, I know Ryan. He'd probably be interested in doing something with you. And we were talking about Crazy and what we would do if we did anything to Crazy. And I was kind of like, I kind of made the record I knew to make. You know, I did what I did with that song because that's what I wanted to do with it. That's what I dreamed about.
Right.
If it was anything was going to change to it, somebody else had to come in. And Ryan was, I think, the perfect person because he respected what musically makes me me. Right. You know, all the pieces of the rezzos, the banjos, and the things that make the music that I love. He kept a lot of the core parts, like the heart of the music, but he gave it a fresh thing. Right. You know, and I love people who can collaborate like that. And you know, and just things like that. I think if I did anything else further, I probably want to work again with Stevie because I feel like that was kind of one of the ultimates for me.
Right.
If not the ultimate.
So we're talking about, you know, earlier we were talking about your age and how much success you've had at a young age. Did you know whenever you were younger that this was going to happen?
No, not at all. I dreamed about it, you know. I don't know. There's that weird disconnect. Yeah. To me, there's dreams, and then there's what oftentimes you get told is sort of reality. And for some reason, I feel like you know, a lot of our lives is spent trying to figure out where that separation is. And I think the coolest thing about what I've seen in the last 12 months is that there is no separation. Right. There's a direct connection. As long as you believe that there's a connection, there's always going to be a connection. You know, you dream about something, and you can absolutely see it happen.
That's going to be a quote right there. I guarantee you that'll be a quote somewhere right now. Someone is writing that down like, oh, I've got to write that down and memorize that. So still on the topic of how much success you've had at a young age, there are so many young stars right now that they just kind of somewhere along the way lose their self. What is it that you think is going to keep you from doing it? Because I've known you for all of about 5 minutes now, and I don't predict that to ever happen. Don't let me down, but I don't.
Don't let you down.
I do not predict that. I do not predict that to happen. So, what is it about you?
5 minutes. No, I don't know. I can't speak for any of that. I don't know. I mean, I all I can tell you is, I think. You know, I don't know. I think it's important to follow your dreams. You know, I think it's important for me to be able to say that this was my dream. Right. Being in a bus every day, right. You know, as crazy as it gets or whatever. You know, you can throw any one of these scenarios that we've been in this year and say, you know, whatever. Was it like your dream, right? And it's like, no, it's better. You know, I live to make music. You know, the week, to be totally honest, if I'm not in the studio, a week off is the most incredibly torturous time. Is that me?
That's me. I'm sorry. I'm getting texts right now from somebody probably asking. They're asking, can we see a picture of Hunter? So I'm sorry, we're not gonna get a picture.
We'll have to send them a selfie or something. But no, it's just one of those things. It's like I live for music. I live to make music. And now that I'm making music, I have every single person out there to thank to let me make music. Thank you. For letting me do what I do and what I love, and because I live for this, you know. I think I was saying just like a week off is kind of miserable, you know, because I just want to keep making music.
Right. So whenever you were younger, did you have like a vision for yourself? Like, okay, at 20 years old, I want to be doing this. At 25 years old, I want to be doing this. Did you plan that kind of stuff out?
I don't know if I planned that much. I don't know if you could, I guess. Because like nobody can tell you what it's going to be like when you start any sort of, you know, sort of career, especially music, right? It's just like you can't really compare anything because everybody's different. Everybody's got a different fingerprint, and so it's going to be different for everybody. So I don't know if I ever had the plan, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess I've just got a series of goals, and I just keep, once I see one sort of checked off the list, I sort of make another list of more goals, right. And, you know, sort of make them further and further.
So what's the next goal?
The next goal?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I really, honestly, at this point, I'm so, like, laser beam, like, laser vision. I don't know what you call it, whatever. I'm so honed in on this headline tour this fall. Oh, yeah. We spent a lot of time putting it together. This is the first show that I've ever gotten to do like this. I mean, we had weeks and days and, like, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. like rehearsal days, like where we're just like we're running music like crazy, we're fixing lights, like we're tweaking light programming and stuff like that, and we've got all kinds of crazy video stuff that we're doing. This is my first time really getting to do that, and I'm actually doing something in the show that I have never even tried to do.
Can you tell us right now? If this is the place, to break news is right here.
I know. But you got to come to the show because it's something I've never even thought about until we went into rehearsals. Literally, I got to the rehearsals the first day, and I said, "Man, you know what would make this really special, or what would make this a little more interesting?" And I literally called my buddy at the Guitar Center, and I was like, "Hey, I need this, this, and this." He was like, "Okay, have you ever used that before?" I was like, "No, but I need it." And I picked it up, I got back the next day, plugged it in, and I started trying to figure it out.
Any hints to what it might be?
Well, it could be a disaster. I'll tell you that much right now. But it's gonna be fun, man. I'm really excited. This tour has kind of it's been a lot of things that have been in my comfort zone, but it's a lot of things getting me out of my comfort zone. Right. So it's
So one of the questions that we got asked a lot, and I liked this question too, but I wanted to phrase it in a different way. Everyone wanted to know what advice you would give to people who want to do, young kids who want to do what you do. They see you out in the audience. They see you, interacting with fans, and you're, accomplishing your dream. But my question is, what advice would you give to yourself whenever you were 16?
Oh, wow. Well, I dream big. Right, my dreams. I mean, if you knew half the things that are on my list, right, my dream list or whatever, my goals, they're kind of ridiculous. But that's been the same case since I was in middle school, high school. I always thought my dreams were ridiculous, and I always thought having such big dreams was unhealthy. I don't know why, but I thought it was. And if I were to go back and say anything to myself, I'd say, don't worry about a thing. Stop worrying. I do worry a lot. If I were to go tell myself anything at 16, I would say, stop worrying. Do what you love. Keep doing it. The dreams that you have are not too big. That's what's going to shape your future, right? That's what drives you, and that's what drives any person, I feel like, So I would go tell myself to continue to dream like I was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like it's required by law that I have to ask this question. Anytime that anyone interviews you, I feel like it's required by law that they have to ask you this.
I know where this is going.
What is the relationship status? Is there a lady in your life right now? Are there multiple ladies? What's going on?
Multiple ladies, right? Like I would, yeah, sure. No, I keep that world very private, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm very careful because the people in my life don't ask to be written about,
right?
And it would be pretty horrible if I kind of included them in my scheme at this point.
Well, I'm not saying anything, but if you and Taylor Swift were together and then maybe y'all just broke up, could you imagine the music that would be written? I mean, could you imagine the music? All right, maybe that's just me who thinks that, but
well, the funniest thing is going back through an album list and realizing, going back and thinking about what you wrote them about. You just sort of laugh about it because it's like at that time it was less like, oh my gosh, that was the worst thing in the world. And then you look back and you're like, it wasn't so bad. You know what I mean? But hey, whatever.
That's awesome. All right, well, remember that you can listen to Hunter. Do you have anything else you'd like to say or add?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Remember, you can listen to Hunter anytime you want to. You can go to 95ksj.com or iHeartRadio.com, keyword Hunter Hayes.